Okay, I think this video might help a little bit because this next one is his other video, which is the timeline, right? The timeline might put something in perspective because there's so much lore. There's so much lore, and I'm never sure what is happening when and what got redacted and what got like deleted or came back, retroactively changing the storyline. So yeah, I think we gotta we gotta learn starting here as well. I am pretty much also game with whatever is shooting Tyranids. Like, I am on the side that the Tyranids are not. I really don't like Zerg. I really don't like big space alien bugs. So, as long as we can shoot them, I'm okay. Get them out of here. Okay. Don't say big stretch like I'm a cat. Big stretch. Poor bugs. I don't like bugs. You shouldn't either. You should only like cute little bumbly bees and little ladybugs, not huge invasive species that want to eat whole planets, okay? Okay. Ikzo.
In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium exists the Empire of Man, a backwards carcass of an empire comprised of many devoted forces, gigantic robot knights, religious machine cultists, and incredibly heavily armored women, most likely with sweltering abs. And one must know what those abs taste like.
I think he got a little... Oh my god, it really was a transition to a sponsorship. I am not paid to shill his sponsorship. We're skipping it, sorry.
The age of knowledge and enlightenment has ended.
There was one?
The age of darkness has begun.
Oh, I guess when the Emperor was alive.
Roughly 60 million years ago, there existed aliens. And these aliens lived short, painful lives. They belonged to radiation-stricken worlds and often died of various cancers before the age of 30. These aliens, the Necron tier, looked up to the stars and found extreme beings of real power. Beings with the ability to create life. The Old Ones of the galaxy. They asked these Old Ones for help. Please cure us of our ailments. To which the Old Ones said, piss off. So the Necron tier gathered together and did the sensible thing. They declared war upon these old beings and were promptly beaten into the dirt back to their short, painful lives. In the world of Warhammer, there is a hell. This hell is not like you and I know it. It's more of an afterlife, a place where dead souls end up. This place has many names: the Empyrean, the Sea of Souls, the Immaterium, and the Ether. But mostly, we just call it the Warp.
What? That's the Warp? I thought the Warp was the demon thing. Okay, maybe it turns into the demon thing later. Okay, okay.
Know of hell as a place of horrors and punishment. The Warp isn't really that. Not in the beginning. It's energy. But the kind of energy formed from thought and soul, psychic energy, where the dead souls of people end up in a place that is impossible to understand. No laws of reality exist. Like, time is merely a suggestion, and it is not something that can be braved easily. The Warp would be like sailing the ocean in a pirate movie. To jump from your ship would be certain death. To stay in the sea for too long on your boat could drive a man mad. And there are many dangerous things lurking in those depths. Yet, the sea is not evil. It simply is. There are more malevolent beings in those waters. Areas that you do not sail towards.
I thought they lived there.
As the realm of chaos.
The
realm of chaos exists in the Warp as a special area led by 3 chaos gods. Khorne, the god of combat, murder, and slaughter, with a pile of skulls taken in his name. Tzeentch, god of change, mystery, and deceit, a confusing paradox of lies, schemes, and sorceries. And Nurgle, god of rot, pestilence, and Genshin impact. All things rot. in the end.
Why
and
Genshin
Grandfather
Impact?
Nurgle is waiting for you with open arms. These gods ruled their respective realm in the warp, sending their many followers against each other in the great game to be the most powerful of all the gods. So the warp exists.
Oh, this
Hell
is pre
is real,
Slanesh.
parallel to our galaxy, with the realm of chaos and its gods fighting for control. But there are also gods of real space, gods of the normal world too.
Wait,
They're
there's
called
good gods?
Catan, and they
I
eat
did not know about
stars.
that.
You think
Is it Catan?
God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
These star gods saw the plight of our poor Necron tier and how the old ones cast them aside and said, you know what? You guys want immortality? Oh, we will make it happen. We are the gods of the tangible, of real space. We can give you a cure. So then they ate all their souls.
Oh. Huh? Don't the Necrons go into sleep? Don't they go into like slumber? Well, the what? There was not a good ending. Psych.
And turned them into robotic automaton, feasting on their souls and leaving a hollow shell of an intelligence left that is technically immortal, with the power of an
Technically immortal, the monkey paw curls. But also, this is like, I don't know. That's kind of what happens when you ask an otherworldly being to give you like knowledge and promise you things. You didn't specify you wanted to keep your current body. You didn't specify that you wanted flesh and any other benefits of being mortal in being immortal. You would like to be trapped in a body where we get your souls? Okay.
an entire species' souls. They turned their new robotic slaves on the old ones and hunted them to extinction. The Necron tier, now the soulless, undying Necrons, got their wish at the price of their souls.
I see. So they both had a vendetta against the old ones, and hey, you wanted to beat the old ones? Well, we can make that happen, but only if you are our robotic slaves.
But we can count the number of kind gods on an amputated hand. With time, the selfish star gods turned on each other, fighting one another for more chances at glory and power. With this, the leader of the Necrons, Zarek, the Silent King, the man who doomed his species when he accepted this deal, waited, planned, bide his time until he seized the perfect moment and turned his legions of undead citizens against the star gods. Gods cannot be killed, but they can be broken. So Zarek broke the star gods into thousands of pieces and locked them away in vaults, taking their free will away as they did to them, and sealed them away as basically Pokemon to be used as weapons in the future.
Oh! I was like, and where are they now?
It's the Void Dragon.
Zarek then, with his perfect memory, exiled himself for his sins, flying out to the darkness between galaxies to atone for what he had done. This entire situation, the genocide of the Old Ones and the rebellion of Zarek, will go down in history as the War in Heaven. It is the most brutal war the galaxy has ever seen and ever will see. This was a conflict that took an entire galaxy-spanning species and pitted them against gods that ate stars.
Oh, there were that many Necrons? A galaxy worth of Necrons? Oh, okay. You know, I guess you need that many people to defeat the old gods and all.
Necrons, rather crippled from, you know, the war in heaven, decide to go to sleep in gigantic tomb worlds on various planets until the upstart species of the galaxy died out. And so turns out, when you have a war that lasts tens, hundreds of thousands of years and involves the genociding of multiple species, the old ones of the galaxy, and the consumption of souls from an entire race, the warp gets a little wacky. You know, if you had a kiddie pool and it was nice and calm, corn is over there splashing about, so you don't really go in that direction. Nurgle has explosive diarrhea, so you don't really go in that direction either, but you can still kind of get in the pool. The pool's still fine. Turns out when you add a couple trillion souls to that kiddie pool, it'll make the waves a little more turbulent. And turns out a lot of them like to pick a side, Nurgle, Tzeentch, or Corn. So
wait. So the Necrons are the ones that are like, how many old ones are there? This is like the afterlife. So the Necrons that died in the war got sent here, and then the old ones that also got killed are sent here into the warp.
the once calmer warp, the once relaxing kiddie pool, has now been bloated. A million years of war will certainly make Khorne, god of murder and slaughter, more powerful. A million years of war will probably make Tzeentch, god of deception and change, a little more powerful. And good God, a million years of war will make Nurgle, god of decay, just the tiniest bit more powerful. Now, entering that kiddie pool is no longer fun, it's dangerous. The warp is now a problem. Hell is resembling hell a lot closer to what we imagined it originally. The Sea of Souls and the Realm of Chaos are now intertwined. So who else to brave the galaxy than a species that won't need to deal with that?
Oh, the Necrons are not in the warp because they have no souls. Right, their souls got eaten. Then what happened? It's not the souls? He said there's a bunch of souls now in the warp that are choosing sides. It was just other species that, like, on different planets that they were fighting on, that they kind of, like, you know, died in the byproduct of the war. But also, yes, that's just so inconvenient that there's only evil gods in the warp. I don't know, why couldn't we have had some good gods? Why don't good gods ever exist? And then we can like pray to make that god a little bit stronger and happier or whatever. No, we can only get corruption and war gods, and they're going to be stronger. The Age of the Eldar. Screw them.
Are space elves. They have a lot of the traits that you probably think of when you think of elves. Tall, slender, pointy ears, bit more androgynous looking, no matter what DeviantArt will tell you, and a bit stronger on the emotional side. The old
they're
ones,
emotional?
as I mentioned, could create life. And when they were getting, you know, absolutely bodied by the Catan and the Necrons, they made some new races to try to help them. One of
Wait, what? The old gods were creating more life. They were creating more races as this happened at the same time. Okay, so those are the souls that are kind of, dying. Okay. Yes.
One of them was the Eldar. It didn't save them, but they're here now anyway. Oh, and also
Too bad.
the orcs, but they're busy right now.
Orcs! Wait, is this an orc game?
The Eldar are a particularly psychically powerful race, so they were really adept at being able to handle the new turbulent warp of chaos and good at killing Necrons, hence why they went to sleep. Being psychically gifted is basically like being a wizard, but you get your wizard powers from hell. This is called being a psyker. And basically, if you want to do cool wizard shit like lightning from your hands or reading someone's mind, you can do that, but you siphon the energy to do that from the warp. Luckily, the Eldar are very good at handling this without too many negative effects because, you know, summoning power from the Sea of Souls with the new Chaos friends can be a bit of an issue. But Eldar are pretty good at it. And you see, what's really cool and also awful about Warhammer is that most developed species travel long, faster than light distances by going through that warp. They create a tear in reality to unreality and move through it. Faster than light travel? Cringe. We go through hell itself to deliver your packages. For those of you who play Minecraft, you know
where you get ready to jump. Sorry, we have to do a pit stop, like a cut through from hell. We're gonna like not die but not be alive for 2 seconds. Please put your, please keep your hands and feet at all times inside the vehicle so that Khorne does not bite you. Thank you.
How the nether is like a pocket dimension. So moving 10 spaces in the nether is actually moving something like 1,000 in the real world. That's
not really. I don't know anything about Minecraft, but
just
that's cool.
Much like in the Nether, there are.
I mean, is it not? Is it not like Star Wars?
A lot of things that want to kill you. The Eldar found a way to do so in between realities. Not regular reality, not the warp, something else.
Oh.
A purgatory of sorts. A fabricated
something a little bit safer.
That allowed them to travel without fearing the negative effects of the warp. The Eldar were the perfect fit for the new galaxy, and they took it with open arms and pointy ears. The empire of the Eldar spread everywhere, and it spread all the way until now. The 21st century. That's right. While you were watching NPC streams on TikTok, the space elves were ruling the galaxy, and they did so for quite a long period of time.
Cringe.
The 21st century came and went. Humanity grew and grew, all under the nose of their elf overlords. At this time, humans advanced, your classic sci-fi style way. We began to expand, colonize our solar system, terraformed our planet.
Oh, if only we were doing that.
More powerful machines and starships. The age of Terra, also known as Earth, but we call it Terra here, was here, and existed between the 21st century all the way until the 15th millennia. Not much is known about this time, not much needs to be known. Humanity grew up, sought the stars. It's classic. Then came the years between 15,000 and 25,000, the age of technology, or to some,
that wasn't technology?
the dark age of technology. This is when humanity reached a new apex of technological understanding. When you think of sci-fi, there's a lot of things you can think of. Star Trek, maybe Star Wars style. You can go cyberpunk dystopian. The age of technology was deep sci-fi, like a scientific prowess that fringed on magic. This is also when the first ever psychers began showing up in humanity. Individuals with the genetic mutation to be able to access the warp, and then because of that, travel through it. Humanity was no longer constricted to their early ways of travel. With warp travel, they could go anywhere in the galaxy.
So the way to warp travel is to have somebody attune to it? But how do they attune to it large enough for a full ship to go through? I thought it was like a technological thing. I thought it was like they just like, you know, like how the Eldar had a little portal? I thought they just like operate a portal and they just have some magical sci-fi nonsense. Keep it open enough for them to travel through it.
Equipped ships with gigantic AI machines, with everything you would ever need to know about mankind, and sent them out on colony ships to expand their influence across the galaxy. And this was truly the golden age of humanity. And with every golden age, there is a fall. While the new human upstarts of the galaxy were reaching new levels of technology and prowess, the Eldar were engaging in
Debauchery.
Yeah. This is why we don't trust space elves, right?
When a species has everything, you can produce unlimited food out of nothing. Your need for farmers and workers, gone. You have dominated the stars and have created a fast travel system that doesn't rely on the dangers of the warp. You have nothing else to do. You have no struggles, no problems, and feel as if there is nowhere else to go. Well, you begin to experiment. The Eldar started harmless enough. You know, you take a serious interest in your species' culture, your arts, paintings.
Yeah, why don't you
poems,
stick with the
plays.
painting?
These are Eldar, elves, remember? Their emotions are heightened, more powerful than us humans. So your plays get louder. They start to push on the limits of your hearing ability. Your music becomes different, more deranged. It pushes the boundaries of what is art. The visual spectacle of art becomes more bizarre, more delusional, more eccentric. And let's not forget a very important sense. Touch. Pornography is one thing. Brothels is another. What if they all mixed? What if your brothels were part of your art and music? And what if those became more deranged? The boundaries of debauchery were not just met, but shattered. Next thing you know, murder is commonplace and often mixed with the art, music, and sex.
Elders did everything wrong.
Byproduct of entertainment.
They were
Whatever
just
sensation
so
you can have must be increased, must be enhanced,
so
must be
degen.
taken to the limits. The Eldar Empire empire slipped into a nightmarish realm of debauchery and excess, with the worst of it taking place in a city in the webway, a black market for these kinds of heinous acts known as Kamara. Some Eldar saw the writing on the wall, saw what was happening to their species and how far they had slipped. So they boarded continent-sized starships called craft worlds and left their empire, seeking a more enlightened, calmer existence among their peers. Some, those in Kamara, pushed it to even greater heights, relishing the pain and torment they inflicted on those around them. All during this, the warp, the yin to the yang of the world, was fed by these emotions, by the psychic power of the Eldar, by the souls taken in these depraved acts on a galactic scale. And just like that, Eldar ended. Slaanesh, the fourth chaos god,
I can't believe a whole species was just so degen. They created such a powerful god.
Spared the worst of it, and those in the webway and Kamara were able to stave off the pull of Slaanesh so long as they continued to commit horrid acts of torture and violence. But
like, you doomed your entire race,
their empire
and the rest of the world.
Birth. The new fourth chaos god, she who thirsts, the god of unspeakable excess of pleasure, pain, hedonism, and perfection, had been born. With the fall of the Eldar Empire came the ruin of humanity. Slaanesh's birth sent storms in the warp across the galaxy, making travel between star systems impossible. Coupled with a huge classic AI rebellion, as a staple in these sci-fi settings, humanity began to suffer the age of strife. Now, planets that relied on intergalactic travel were completely cut off.
They ruined the warp for everyone. That's why the Emperor is important. Because everyone needs to travel. And they can't anymore. Oh my god. Literally, you know, not all elders, but most elders.
Long-range messages normally sent through the warp were snuffed out. If you were a planet that was great at mining stuff but couldn't get food, well, you know that movie about the rugby players in the mountains? Oh, and because of these insane warp storms and fluctuations, psykers began to appear among the human population a bit more often. Now, this initially had been hunted down as witches, because that's pretty common in this setting, but some deemed it right to protect them. Unfortunately for those people, psykers, because they open a gateway to the warp, don't really know how to use their powers well, and they kind of attract demons who then force their way through the psyker as a conduit of sorts and begin to slaughter the population.
I see. Okay, I was gonna be like, well, psykers are so useful. Oh, not yet. Not yet. Oh, witch hunts are, I guess, necessary because nobody knows how to harness their powers yet.
Of your planet. The Age of Strife was a catastrophic period of time for humanity and set back their progress tenfold over the not one, not two, but 5,000 year period. During this time, the age of humanity that we know began to form. Worlds equipped with large mechs for agriculture began to equip them with weapons to defend from alien and demonic invaders. Over 5,000 years, this became a custom and tradition, dubbing them as night worlds, a feudal society of honor-bound knights in gigantic robots that uphold the chivalric code to defend their worlds.
Marines,
a group of individuals on Mars, after radioactively bombing their planet to become inhospitable to human life, ran their entire lives underground on the few life support systems keeping them alive. Those technicians who could work on the machines and keep them operational were revered, and over 5,000 years went from skilled members of society to full-blown priests.
Adeptus Mechanicus.
Or tech priests.
But I thought they were not revered. I thought they were just considered weirdos.
Religious fervor and doctrine on the cult of the machine god. And on Earth, or Terra, techno-barbarian tribes waged war across the planet in a Mad Max style of blood and gore.
It is Mad Max style.
A mysterious man who lived in the shadows of Terra for millennia finally revealed himself to the populace. His name was the Emperor,
because he doesn't get a name.
Emperor of mankind. Where did he come from? I don't know. Why is he 10 feet tall and the most powerful psyker of all of mankind? I don't know. Why is he basically
convenient?
Immortal? I don't know.
He's the chosen one.
Who knows? But he's here, and he isn't happy with all of you ripping up Terra. So he began the Unification Wars, where he and a very early version of the famous Space Marines, the Thunder Warriors.
Okay, so we do have early Space Marines. Okay, Thunder?
United Terra under a single banner. With blood. Then, after taking over Earth, he reunited the Thunder Warriors into the fucking dirt. This is where we get the Imperium of Man, also known as the Imperium. The new faction headed by the Emperor of Mankind with a treaty signed with the Cult Mechanicus on Mars to spread out and reunite humanity after the catastrophic Age of Strife. But first, the Emperor is going to need some smaller versions of himself. 20 of them. 18 of them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think he could have only needed 9 of them. I think 9 of the other ones were a problem.
I meant gene-crafted sons of the strongest human to ever live. All of them possess unparalleled strategic power, intelligence, formidable strength and size, a real powerful force to unite humanity and stop the chaos of the current galaxy. Speaking of chaos, you ever seen that image of that guy? It's like throwing the baby like a basketball. It's about what happened. The Chaos Gods intervened and grabbed the 18 Primarch gestation pods and yeeted them across the galaxy at a whim everywhere they could possibly go. A galactic game of keep away. So the Emperor had to get them back. So begins the Great Crusade.
You know, like Dragon Ball? Okay, well, go get your sons. If you collect them all, you can maybe have the I don't know, empire back in order or whatever. Yeah, but good luck, dude. Yeah, go fetch.
A crusade across the stars to reunite not just humanity, but the Emperor with his fallen sons. The first to be found was Horus.
Yeah.
One of the strongest and most noble sons. The Emperor carried with him a legion of newly crafted warriors.
Don't like that guy.
With genetic material made from their Primarch father. These are the newly made Space Marines. For Horus, his were the Luna Wolves. And as the Emperor continued on his great crusade, he found more and more of his sons, reuniting them with their individual Space Marine legions. Leman Russ, the cunning hunter with the Space Wolves. Rogel Dorm, the Phalanx.
We
with
saw
the
all of
Imperial
these.
Fists.
I don't remember any of their names, really.
The Barbarian, the very angry with his World Eaters. Fulgrim, the perfect with his Emperor's children.
Oh,
and
Fulgrim.
Jagatai Khan, the swift, the stoic, and his white scars. Those were just some of the 18, and one by one his lost Primarch sons were returned to him, and their Space Marine legions returned to them.
Wait, what happened? Did they grow up on the different worlds? Did they just grow up and then they were like returned to the Emperor at some point when they got strong enough and were like, come father, I have found you and I have brought you an army made out of my own genes as a gift. And I definitely am not going to betray you.
The Great Crusade saw humanity once again reconquer the stars, returning worlds of humanity back to the Imperium and killing any and all who stood against their noble crusade. But in the years of the 31st millennia, treachery would break this all apart.
Finally, the Horus Heresy!
Horus, the Emperor's most beloved and favored sons, named War Master for the Crusade, succumbed to the power of chaos and daddy issues. All because of that bastard Erebus.
Why does he have daddy issues?
Erebus. Slowly, Horus would become corrupted, turning the Emperor's sons against him.
But I don't understand why. He was the first one. He was the favorite. He had everything. He was the golden child. He's not even salty unlike the other dude. What's up with that?
This begins the most pivotal moment in our story, and the one that has like 50 books written about it.
Wait, that was like that's like that many books is just about the Horus Heresy? Really?
The Horus Heresy. 9 of the 18 Primarchs turned against the Emperor, and
Yes, I had to count by hand, but we've arrived at this conclusion.
following years were a bloody battle for the throne of Terra. The Emperor originally was working on a special webway project, just like the Eldar, to make faster-than-light travel significantly easier and safer. Really improve humanity to allow them to conquer the stars without the risk of the warp. Well, this big red idiot named Magnus kind of blew a hole into that, literally and figuratively. So Big E over there is stuck on a gigantic golden throne, holding back the oncoming rush of demons and powering the Astronomicon, basically a big North Star for people who are sailing in the warp to help them navigate. The Horus Heresy saw many loyalist and traitor legions pitted against each other in a bloody war until it reached Terra itself. Horus, unable to break through the lines and with time running out, made a gambit and opened his ship up to be boarded. The Emperor took this challenge, quickly allowing someone else to take control of the throne as he teleported his way onto Horus's flagship, the Vengeful Spirit. The Emperor, unable to truly kill his most beloved son, changed his mind right quick when Horus strangled the life out of his other son, Sanguinius.
That's when that happened! He's like, I couldn't hurt you, my son. Alrighty, well, how about this? You're gonna kill me now? Okay, I'll kill you. Not Sanguinius!
Oh, no!
I'm sure you've seen this image at some point. The Emperor then said, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, and proceeded to psychically blast Horus into complete oblivion, killing not only his body, but also his soul.
That's great. That's like the warp doesn't even get you. You are just so disintegrated.
Horribly wounded from this duel, the Emperor is returned to the Golden Throne in order to keep the demons at bay and power the Astronomicon, because without it, humanity would be flying blind. There he sits, slowly dying from his wounds and the strain of powering the Golden Throne. The only thing keeping him alive is feeding upon the souls of 1,000 Psykers every single day.
Oh, specifically Psykers. Specifically, but Psykers are kind of rare, as people have said. So how do they get them?
This was 10,000 years ago. We are now in the 41st millennium, modern day. Warhammer 40,000.
Wait, 40,000 is a reference of what? The year?
The Emperor remains.
Is it the year? 40,000? I don't know why I never questioned. I was just like, oh yeah, Warhammer 40k. Yeah, that's a cool number. That's a nice number. There's a 30k, 40k. Yeah, fair trade. Yeah, be the Emperor. Just be the strongest psychic that ever lived. And ban the other psychics. But now you have to eat psychics to keep living. I see. I'm not gonna lie, I thought 40k was in reference to a number that was like an amount. Like there's just so many planets or so many people or like something physical. It's actually just a year. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a long time before we can change this number. It's a pretty big number.
On his throne. The Imperium is a rotting carcass of an empire, a fascist, xenophobic cult that worships the Emperor as a deity despite him never wanting to be seen as a god. Over the span of 1 million worlds, the ecclesiarchy, the church of the Emperor, is spread throughout. Inquisitors with unparalleled power root out any sign of heresy or lack of devotion
no heretics
to their
here.
god Emperor. The other half of the traitor legions move about as Chaos Space Marines, raiding and pillaging the Imperium, while the loyalist half does their best to keep the Empire alive.
See, I'm just saying, if your enemy is those chaos regions, like those chaos legions, I mean, like, I don't know, I think I'd rather have Inquisitors on my side, you know? It's a good trade-off. Apart from seeing your neighbor turn into Mr. Demon because he listened to the wrong demon, like, demon that spoke through something or someone.
All throughout this, they must endure orc invasions, Eldar trickery, the reawakening of the Necron race, and the Great Devourer, the newest tyrannid threat from the darkness between galaxies that has arrived to feast on their worlds.
See, that's terrifying.
The theme of Warhammer 40,000 is regression and intolerance. Every
intolerance,
major faction
yeah.
of Warhammer has had an empire that spanned the galaxy only to be crushed back to a hollow shell of what they once were due to their own failings. Culture, the arts, personal freedom, religious tolerance, the simple possibility that alien life might not want to kill us is considered heretical and is often met with a pistol to the head. There is no time for these things. All there is time for is worship of the God Emperor and a million wars to be fought. To be a human in the 41st millennia is 99% of the time to live a horrible existence. To be one of trillions of other humans across a million worlds throughout the galaxy. A galaxy where AI is outlawed, so humans are repurposed and lobotomized to become slaves. A place where lack of
Wait, normal people are slaves? If you're born in this world and you're not like a marine or some other kind of like battle fit ready imperial like guardsman, then you're just a slave?
devotion is met with death. And if you even have devotion, there is a good chance the threats to the galaxy, chaos, and aliens will kill you anyway. Warhammer is a world where you revel in being bad. There are protagonists, there are antagonists, but every faction is some shade of evil. Because playing the bad guys is always more fun. And
actually, I would say being the bad guy is a little bit easier. I kind of understand. If you're going to die anyway, then you might as well go out swinging, right? There's like no hope for your society. There's no hope for a better life. No hope for like progression. So some people just succumb to the demons. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a little bit more fun. If it's either kill or be killed, then why don't you go kill? Wow.
And my friend, you have a selection. So pick up that las gun soldier. You and the other 3 million men and women in this single deployment on this single world in this single battle will now show them the might of the God Emperor. That weapon in your hands has killed 99% of the alien populations in this galaxy. Unfortunately for you, soldier, you're fighting the final 1%. May the Emperor be with us. Glory to the first man to die, for in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
There really is just only war. So you just gotta pick who you fight for and which you think is the coolest way to fight. But there's like a painful trade-off to every method of fighting. Every single possible thing that you could join if you want to fight to survive has some sort of sacrifice involved. Man. For the God Emperor. No heretics. No heretics allowed. Dang. Yeah, that's pretty rough. That's pretty rough, buddy. No one wants to live here, but I guess you do want to have a really, really cool story of how you won that war, yeah? That one specific war you won real good, right? Yeah, there's 40,000... No, we don't use swords. They use, like, laser beamy guns, to be honest. Dang. Chaos always finds a way in common humanity. Yeah, because people don't treat each other right. Just the common people are just living in misery. So, okay. He didn't explain about Cadia though. Does he have a video about Cadia? I thought that was kind of important in the lore, is it not? I guess that's like a specific, I don't know, is it specific to Marines? It's not in this timeline? He didn't talk about any specific skirmishes or wars except for like the Horus Heresy. They do use swords. Not everyone uses swords, God. The Knight people use swords. They do. Okay, there is one faction that uses, well, not faction, sorry. One that the Fist, Iron Fist, they use hammers. Duh. They're the Warhammerers. Not everyone else has hammers. Yeah, some people like other crazy nonsense. He did vaguely mention it in the faction video. Okay, then in that case, I'll watch a separate one that's about Cadia.